Well, hello. Today we're going to talk about safety and healing, both. Safety and healing, of course, within the context of A Course in Miracles. So let's recap lesson 244, I'm in danger nowhere in this world, just by saying that you are safe. God is, period. There is no separation of any kind. Therefore, who are you? Right? Where are you? What are you? We're doing the verbal math, yes. As we allow ourselves to do this verbal math and accept, and again, allow the truth of these answers to simply be, we come to recognize the truth of lesson 244, don't we? We are safe in God. By the way, one with does not mean 8 billion. It means one. So we come to realize, hey, we are safe. Despite appearances, we are in danger nowhere in the world. Who you are cannot be in danger, ever. Body? Sure, but guess what? It's not you. So lesson 244 leads quite logically, along with numerically, right, into lesson 245, which is your peace is with me, Father. I am safe. Your peace is with me, Father. I am safe. And that alone is a very powerful idea, isn't it? As with each and every one of these workbook lessons, the idea for the day is sufficient for practice and contemplation in and of itself, simply in terms of what it means for you and your life and the lives of every other living thing. In other words, if all you do is remember this idea several times during the day and recite it to yourself silently, that's hugely powerful. Now, it would be very kind of you and very determined of you and very spiritually adult of you, yeah, to do more than that, of course. And at some point, we get past all of those blockages, don't we? We get past the blockages of, oh, this page has, this idea has 2 pages of commentary on it, and I just don't feel like it today. Or, oh God, do I have to read that? Right? Have you caught yourself saying that? At some point, we persevere, we stick with it enough, we experience enough of the change over time that we begin to, as we would put it in the world, build some momentum from it. We begin to glimpse some of this light. We bring enough of our crap and our drama to the light. We realize it is literally shined away. So we're more forgiving, we're more joyful, aren't we? We laugh more. Really, seriously, that's huge. That's huge, huge, huge on the spiritual path. I mean, laughing genuinely, not laughing at somebody, right? But genuine laughter, organic, as we would call it in the world. Yeah. All right. So you come to realize that, oh yeah, these are really true, because not just because Jesus says it or because Tomas Garza says it. Who cares what he says, right? It's because I'm experiencing it. Yeah? It's because I'm experiencing the truth of this for myself. That's what we mean by building momentum, so to speak, on the spiritual path, is the more we bring our illusions to the truth, the lighter we become in every way. So lesson 245 is a natural continuance of lesson 244. We are safe. Reassure yourself of that. You are safe. Now let's talk about the component of healing. It's highly prevalent in the prayer with lesson 245 today. There's even a statement, let me bring your peace with me. We're talking to God here. Let me bring your peace with me. Bring it to the entire world. So let's talk a little bit about healing. There are many different ideas in the world, naturally, of course, about what constitutes healing. And a lot of us go right away to the examples that are present all around us of healing the physical body, such as medicine, right? Modern medicine, surgeries, remarkable technological discoveries that enable the communication mechanism to last longer and operate at a very high level for a long time. You know what the communication mechanism is. This, right? So there's healing on that dimension, and then there are many spiritual healing modalities such as Reiki and similar healing practices. And there's also deep level healing, which naturally is what A Course in Miracles is talking about. When we accept atonement for ourselves, that's healing, is it not? Miracles are healing. There is no order of difficulty in these at all. So when we shift from the ego to God, from fear to love, that is a miracle. That is healing. So by extending love, who are we healing again? Now, it's not just the person or people to whom you're extending this love. It's you as well. Remember, there is no separation of any kind. Healing one is healing all. Your decision to bring the peace, the joy, the love of God to everyone that you encounter is bringing the peace and joy and love of God to yourself and everyone, every living thing. So in approaching the workbook for students, I know that there are many of you who have tuned in from Enlightened World Network that, and on your own, wherever you're joining me from, that have done this before. And if you're in that category, you can attest to the fact that the second time that you go through these ideas, no matter how much time has passed between the first round and the second, I mean, it might be years or decades even, but you see things differently. It's like reading a novel a second time or watching a movie again after you've seen it before. You notice different things, and things that you really glanced over the first time around look very prominent. They appear really prominently to you, and you get things on a deeper level, don't you? You understand things more. And Well, even if you are just starting this and doing this workbook for the first time, think back to where you were when you began lesson 1. What was your life like? Where were you? What were you bringing to the table in terms of things that you were dealing with? Perhaps you were dealing with some really difficult circumstances in your life, possibly a health challenge. Maybe it was a relationship or a work-related issue, maybe all of them combined. Who knows, right? But this is something that I want to invite all of you to do as you go through this workbook. Because day to day, there will be days where it doesn't feel like this is helping. You know there will, if there haven't been already. Count on that, right? Days where the ego is going to make a special effort to reassert itself and tell you you want to quit. Yeah, let this go. Shit doesn't work anyway. Who are you to do this? This doesn't work. This guy talking to you on YouTube is full of shit, right? We all know that voice. I mean, who hasn't heard that voice and who hasn't listened to it? And we don't get these gray hairs by accident in life, right? Because listening to that, that'll produce a whole score of them, won't it? Yeah, and we get in our way that way. And if you haven't had that voice come up, count on it coming up at some point here. And we're on lesson 245. So I invite you to look back and over 245 plus days, ask yourself and really be honest with yourself here. And it's honest self-inquiry, isn't it? It's honest self-examination. Am I a different person today, 245 lessons in? Am I different? Am I more loving? Am I more forgiving? Am I kinder? Do I laugh more? Do I have more spontaneous laughter? Am I lighter in my bearing, in my carriage, in my presence? Am I lighter? Am I more relatable? Yeah? Am I more honest with myself, right? Am I more honest with other people? You could ask any one of those related questions. And I'm hoping, I mean, only you can deliver the true answers to yourself, yes, but I'm hoping that the answer may be yes to some of those. Now, if the answer is no, and in all honesty, you're less forgiving, you're more judgmental or something, right? I mean, as long as you're being honest with yourself. If that's the case, perhaps you're just, I'll submit that perhaps you're just having a moment, and it might be a bad day. So this is why it is useful to look at this over a period of time with a long run point of view here. Because as much as we'd love to have a blinding flash and be completely awakened right now, most of us aren't going to have that. And if we do have something like that, then, well, if we haven't had it yet, maybe we'll have it, but maybe we won't. And our path is gradual. This is the purpose of time, according to the thought system of A Course in Miracles, is to allow us to wake up. It's seeing all of these opportunities for what they are, opportunities for forgiveness. Any emotion that we might label troublesome or negative is in fact an opportunity to forgive. And it's an opportunity on a silver platter. That's what it's for. And we need to recognize that. That's the rub, right? Because we don't always. But when we do, right? Recognize that this is an opportunity for forgiveness. Everything beautiful that we see in the world, yes, it's illusory. What's it symbolic of? It's symbolic of our limitlessness as Christ. When you see a beautiful sunset, that is symbolic of your beauty as Christ, our beauty as Christ. Christ being the thought of God. You, me, every living thing. The Son of God. It's you. It's you. And if you've had a fundamentalist upbringing in any world religion or tradition, then you may have had this inkling, as I once did as an 11-year-old kid rotting in a Sunday school class that I really didn't want to be in. Yeah, I was one of those. And you may have had an intuitive hit that you just knew that it was correct, that you are the Son of God, that we're all children of God. And that there is no sin. Nobody ever told me when I was 11 in a pretty fundamentalist Baptist church that God has no ego to be worshiped. If someone had come forth and had the prescience and the wherewithal to say such a thing, I would have instantly grasped it, intuitively known, yeah, that's true. So I got those hits from elsewhere, from where I don't really know, to be perfectly honest. That's kind of the case with a gut reaction, right? A hunch, something you just know. No, we all have this knowledge, right? We just know who we are. We recognize it. You don't have to call yourself intuitive or not. You don't have to wear that moniker. You don't even have to call yourself spiritual. You don't have to call yourself anything at all. Those are all ultimately just terms. They're all just words. And what's important is that you just piecemeal start to show up and recognize the truth of who you are and allow it. You are the Son of God. If you have to replay this video 20 times, I invite you to do so. Leave a comment if you'd like, or a question. It's a journey, isn't it? It's a journey that I hope, despite some of the bad days, the hard moments where we're letting go of dearly cherished egoic beliefs, all of them, right? We're bringing all of our illusions to the truth. That can represent a little short-term pain, right? If you're experiencing that, recognize that that's part of the path. And when you're feeling it, recognize that it's an opportunity for you to forgive. If you can, right? Sometimes we get swept away and we have to be patient and compassionate with ourselves, do we not? Because we'll get swept away and we'll say shit to people. I mean, really, when we do, we just, we give ourselves time, if we need it, to get more level-headed or to walk away from a dramatic situation. And when we're feeling a little bit more composed, then recognize what went on. We can forgive then as well. But the more we can remember to do this in the moment, the better. Everything that we see outside of us is indeed a product of mind. It's a product of our inner world. If we see or experience something painful, it's the result of fear-based thoughts. And the appearance of this is an opportunity for forgiveness. Again, when we see something beautiful, it is symbolic, again, of our beauty, our limitlessness, our power as Christ. Yeah. A Course in Miracles presents a very, very deeply beautiful message, doesn't it? Deeply beautiful, and it's just amazing. It truly is. If you have been a student of the course for a long time, then you'll attest to that. And even if you're just starting out, there's going to be something that really, really draws you in and hits you in a good way, a good hit. You'll get something good from it. And we just show up moment to moment, every day. One lesson in the workbook leads to another. And this is lesson 245. So you know that you're a different person today than you were when you picked this up for the first time. And if you bought a copy of the course and had it on a shelf for months or years even before picking it up, you're a different person when you pick it up than you are when you buy it, right? What this really means is you have had a miracle transpire. You've worked one. From going from having this book lie unopened on a shelf collecting dust to picking it up, dusting it off, and opening it up to page 1 or page 400 of the text or wherever you opened it. Maybe it was random, and your mind and your eyes lighted on certain words that have you right here. Miracle. Expect them. Yeah. So let's close with that. Let's close with just a reminder from the course that miracles are quite natural. They are. They're quite natural. Isn't that wonderful? They're quite natural, and indeed they are your birthright. They're my birthright. They're all of our birthrights. Yes. So work them, expect them. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, please comment here in the comments here on YouTube, especially if something relates with you, or if you have questions or something doesn't resonate. No problem. I will respond to all of the non-spam comments. Qualify that, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you again on the next video.